How much of your day, honestly, do you spend protecting yourself and your valuable possessions? Watching, guarding, managing perception. What if you didn't have to? I never questioned it. It felt like gravity, just the way things are. And then I moved to Denmark. Someone told me before I arrived that you will see parents leave their babies outside in the middle of the winter, alone, in the cold, and walk away. I thought they were joking. Namaste dosto, I'm Gaurav. This is Chai, Clarity and Systems. Let's start a conversation that matters. In the last episode, we talked about Viktor Frankl, about how meaning, not happiness, is what actually keeps people going. And I ended with a question: what gives your struggle meaning? Today I want to take it one step further, because here's what I have been thinking. Meaning does not exist in isolation. It exists within systems. And some systems are designed in a way that makes meaning easier to find, while others quietly make it harder. Denmark taught me what the first kind looks like. Let me take you to Copenhagen. It's winter, it's cold, the kind of cold that makes you walk faster just to stay warm. And I'm walking past a cafe on one of those quiet Danish streets, and I notice something outside. A pram, a baby pram, sitting outside the cafe in the cold, and inside the pram there's a baby sleeping quietly with no parent inside. The parents were actually inside having coffee. मैं एक सेकंड के लिए रुक गया और सोचा, भाई ये क्या हो रहा है? Because where I come from, where most of us come from, this would be unthinkable. You don't leave a child unattended outside, not for a second, not because you're a bad parent, just because the environment doesn't feel safe enough to do so. But this wasn't one-off in Denmark. I saw this outside cafe, outside shops, outside houses in the middle of the winter. It turns out it's a tradition. Danish parents believe fresh air is good for sleeping babies, and then they leave them outside comfortably without anxiety. Not because they're careless, but because they trust the environment they live in. And that's what hit me. It isn't about parenting style. This is about what a high trust society actually feels like. जब सिस्टम पे भरोसा हो तो इंसान ज़्यादा फ्रीली जी सकता है. Now, think about what the pram movement actually represents. In a low trust environment, most of your energy goes towards protection, not towards work, not towards people, towards managing the environment itself, watching, guarding, verifying, second guessing. In high trust environment, that energy comes back to you. The parent inside the cafe were freed by the system to be present. And I started thinking about how that applies everywhere. In teams, in organization, in leadership. How much energy do your people spend protecting themselves, managing perception, watching for politics, second-guessing decisions? Because all of that energy is energy not spent on actual work. When systems are fair, people don't need to be defensive. The pram was just the beginning. Because the more I lived in Denmark, the more I saw trust built into the system of everything. When you move to a new country, you learn very quickly whether the system sees you as a person or a problem. Every official document I needed was handled cleanly, quickly, without any drama. No relationship needed, no one to call, and no one to chase. आप जानते होंगे वो फीलिंग जब सिस्टम से लड़ना पड़ता है अपना ही काम करवाने के लिए. In Denmark, that feeling never came, and that silence, that absence of friction, that was the message. Think about your own organization for a second. How much of your day is spent navigating internal friction, chasing approvals that should be automatic, explaining yourself to people who should already trust your judgment, filling forms that exist because system doesn't trust the process? That's not inefficiency. That's a low trust system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Denmark showed me what the alternative looks like. When trust is built into the design, people stop navigating the system and start doing the actual work. When COVID hit, I remember sitting alone in my flat in Copenhagen, streets empty, terrifying news from everywhere, and one thought that kept coming to me: I'm not from here. If something happens to me, who do I call? And I didn't have any answer. But Denmark did. Support arrived not because I called the right person, not because I had a contact, just because the system was already there waiting for me. And that moment, more than anything else, is when I understood what a functional system actually feels like from inside. Not from reading about it, but from needing it. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds too good, too clean, too different from what we know. And I understand that reaction because I had it too. Growing up in India, you learn early that systems are things you navigate around, not things you trust. You build relationships, you find work around, you rely on people, not processes. And that is not a character flaw. It's an adaptation. It's what you do when systems doesn't show up for you consistently. हम ट्रस्ट ही नहीं करते सिस्टम को क्योंकि सिस्टम ने कभी डिजर्व नहीं किया वो ट्रस्ट. Here is what Denmark also taught me. Trust doesn't come for free. You probably know Danish people are some of the highest taxpayers in the world, and citizens largely pay them willingly because they see where the money goes. They experience the system working repeatedly and consistently. Trust is built through consistency, not through announcement, not through promises, through systems that show up the same way every single time. And that applies beyond government, in your team, in your organization, in your relationships. Trust is not built in big moments. It's built in small and consistent ones. Think about your Monday morning. Before you even open your laptop, how much energy you have already spent managing perception, second guessing a message you sent yesterday, wondering how a decision will land, whether you said the right thing in that meeting yesterday. Or if you're younger, maybe still in college or just starting out, it looks slightly different. Which path did I choose? Will I be judged for it? Am I already behind? That exhaustion at any age is not a personal failing. And this is what a low trust environment produces. Quietly, consistently, without anyone noticing. और सबसे बुरी बात यह है, हम सोच भी नहीं पाते कि ये गलत है, क्योंकि हमें लगता है ये नॉर्मल है. I think about the pram often, not because Denmark is perfect, no country is, but because of what it represents. A society that has invested over decades in building systems people can rely on. And the result is different quality of life, not just materially, but psychologically. People have more energy for what matters because they spend less energy on what shouldn't need managing. जब सिस्टम काम करता है तो इंसान अपनी पूरी एनर्जी वहाँ लगा सकता है जहाँ असल में ज़रूरत है. So today's question, and this one is for all of us. What would change in your team, your organization, your life if people around you didn't have to spend energy protecting themselves? What could they do with that energy instead? And if this made you think, that is enough. Until next time, build systems, not stress. Thank you so much.